tribute videos on each one of the inductees. This year we'll be inducting Joe Colabrand, local guy who played in the NFL. People like Joe, down to Les Stafford, who's been an incredible volunteer at Cocoa Beach High School for 40-odd years, volunteering 11,000 hours at the high school. So, we recognize the pros, but we also recognize the people who really make things happen in Brevard. So Les is a great guy. Also like Corey Philpott, played in the NFL. Reggie Hanna, the incredible basketball player from Titusville. All sorts of people will be recognized and honoring May 12th at the Country Club. So if anyone would like to come to that, they're more than welcome. Tickets are available. It's a really special evening.
Well, I know we send out information to, we get a lot of people that contact us from other areas of Florida. You might have missed our introduction when you called in when I was talking about Jonathan Lack and all his services. He's my co-host today. And Jonathan, say hello to Giles. You didn't get a chance to say hello to him.
Hi, Giles. And while we're talking, I am bopping around on the website here, and I noticed the Sports Hall of Fame. I see Chuck Keener is being inducted, and I know Chuck because he was my son's guidance counselor at West Shore Junior Senior High School. I know he's not there anymore, but I have fond memories of dealing with Chuck and happy to see him entering the Sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you're right. He's a terrific guy. Was one of the pioneers of soccer in the county years and years ago. Of course, coached tennis. Just one of those people who quietly gone about their business for many, many years, just making a big difference to kids in the county from all different types of sports. So, yeah, very, very special. His wife, Robin Keener, who's a top tennis player, she was inducted in our first class 6 years ago. So they're quite a family, the Keeners.
Yeah, it's great to see that. And while we're on the topic, I'm going to do a quick shout-out to the West Shore Junior Senior Class 2A State Championship soccer team. That my son plays on the team, so of course I want to get that shout out there for the championship, and it's great to see the Space Coast sports being covered by locals, for locals, and being put out there on the website.
What's nice about having digital now, most traditional newspapers have to, go to press at least sometimes 24 hours in advance, and sometimes that last minute changes make a difference on the newspaper. So having everything online, you're right up to the second on your news that you can put right on the web. So that's what's great is we're right up to the minute on anything that's happening in Brevard County. I was starting to say that we get a lot of people that contact us that are coming to this area either from South Florida, because we have a big industry down there, or a big audience down there, I should say, of people who are wanting to leave the South Florida area, but they don't know where to come to and they don't know where to move to. So we provide a lot of information about the area. And, of course, your link is going out to all of those people that are interested in coming up here, because it gives them a great resource to see what's happening on the Space Coast in one email, or one email blast, or actually one website. They can pick up all of this different information and go on all the different sites. So we commend you for putting in that hard work, putting together the newspaper, or it's actually called an online magazine now, right? Space Coast Daily. We're not really calling it what do we call it? A news source, I guess, right?
Yes, I mean, as I say, the printed magazine, been printed now for 11 years, and that continues to be very successful, and it's paid for with advertising. It's a free magazine. We print 15,000 of those every 2 months, and it's a beautiful 200-page magazine that people can hang on to and share and that kind of thing. And then, of course, anytime, like you just said, Gene, is we have no deadlines online, because the deadline is right now. We pick up news 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every week of the year, and our staff, which I can't take credit for it. Our staff are the ones that make all that happen, and they're the very best in the area, and they love what they do. And thanks to technology, we can bring the news to Brevardians, real time for free, and it's very professionally done and very well presented. So it's down to the team there at the office that makes that happen, not me.
You had told a story a while back, but maybe you even have a couple more to add to it, where the actual Space Coast Daily online helped the police capture one of the criminals out there that they were looking for. They had tell us that little story if you remember that from the past.
Yeah, Dwayne and I, we got a lot of respect for the leadership of the sheriff's department here. We feel like they're doing a fantastic job, and crime is down in Brevard in a big way. And of course, Wayne is everywhere, not only fighting crime, but he and his team make such an impact in the area. But yeah, we work very closely with the sheriff's department every time there's any sort of a situation that involves crime in the public. We're publishing it and making people aware of it. But thanks to social media, that story you're talking about, anecdotally, was that there was someone breaking into vehicles in Port St. John not so long ago, and they couldn't catch this individual. He was one of these sort of the gone in 60 seconds type. He'd come in and hit 4 or 5 or 6, 7, 8 cars in a parking lot, make off with what he could get away with, and he'd be gone before they could catch him. And he was doing this for several weeks, and finally they got an image from a security camera of this. It looked pretty striking. It was a pretty striking image. The lights, his eyes were glowing into the night vision camera, and we got that image and we posted it to our audience. 150,000 local friends. Of course, when they get it, they share it, and we had an incredible reaction to that one image. We had something like 200,000 people click on the image, and thousands of comments. Hope they catch the guy. This and that. And one of the comments was, we were going through the comments, one of the comments was, "Oh, I know this dude. I used to hang out with him. Glad I don't hang out with him anymore." So there we are. That was the person's name. And so we immediately called the sheriff's department, gave them the name, and they caught the guy the next day. So, it just shows you how social media is so relevant right now, and so in real time you can make a difference.
Yeah, one of the things I like, the social media is great, and the Twitter and the instant information that's available, it certainly has put a stress on the news industry in the sense of having to be current at all times and the first one out, whereas it used to be, as Jean said, with the newspaper, you'd have your deadlines and get your reporting out. Now everything is essentially instant. But what's nice about the Space Coast Daily magazine and other magazines that are still surviving, in my opinion, is the long form, where you get to actually go into a bit of a story, and you got the glossy pages with the pictures, and you can also tell a little bit of a story, which gets us back to the old days of sitting down with your magazine and reading instead of just staring at your phone.
Yeah, so true. The nice thing about our magazine, we designed it in such a way that it fits in lots of different places, and if you don't want to go online, you don't want to read it through your smartphone, you can pick up the magazine, and it's a beautiful product. You can read it for hours and hours, because it's 200 and something pages all about Brevard. So people go back to it. It's a great resource, and we're very proud of it.
Let's talk about some of the things that are coming up in the near future. But again, Maverick Multimedia Incorporated, as well as Brevard Production Incorporated, you're a partner with both of those companies, which are all interrelated with Space Coast Daily. The Space Coast State Fair, you handle that production as well, and that comes up. What is that? Always in November, is it, or October?
Yeah, that's right, Gene. This will be our 31st annual Space Coast State Fair, and it's out in Viera. We actually just moving the fair to 30 acres, which we just took on board because the Space Coast Stadium is where we've had the event in the past, but there's a new organization that's moved in there. So we now have 30 acres across from the stadium, right next to Viera High School, and so the Space Coast State Fair will be there October 27th through November 12th. The largest event of the year in Brevard. It's a great sort of occasion where everyone comes out to puts on their fall sweater if they can, and comes out and enjoys a nice night at the fair with free entertainment, and lots of fun with nice clean operation. We have the largest and best midway company in the country that comes down and plays it for us. They play the big state fairs across the nation, and they're very, very pleased to come to Brevard every year in the fall. It's nice and warm here usually, and they play for 18 days out there. We have 50, 60,000 people that attend that event in the fall. Well, next Hall of Fame next week, Cocoa Beach.
And you were breaking up just a little bit there. Did you say you had someone coming in for the Sports Hall of Fame next week?
Well, yeah, that's next Friday, May 12th at the Cocoa Beach Country Club. people are invited to come meet the local sports personalities, have a nice dinner, and enjoy the program. Then we sponsor the Space Coast Public Service Awards at the Max King Center September 23rd in conjunction with the Sheriff's Department. We recognize people who do local volunteer work in the public service sector. And then, of course, we have the fair in October, I mentioned. We have a new event coming up this fall called the Space Coast Oktoberfest, which will be a lot of fun in Palm Bay. Everything German food, German music, German beer. And it'll be a nice, fun time for the families in October 5th through the 15th. So
boy, you've got that.
Lots of things coming up. Yep.
That when what was that? The Palm Bay? Was that called the Palm Bay Fair? No, the Oktoberfest in Palm Bay, right?
That's right. It's a Space Coast Oktoberfest. That'll be October the 5th through the 15th at Space Coast Harley-Davidson. They've got 16 acres down there in Palm Bay, right off of 95. So they're really happy to have us bring those festivals in there every year because it brings a lot of people to their dealership.
That'll be some mix Harleys and beer. Sounds like a great weekend, right? Boy, that's back to back with your with the Space Coast State Fair. You only have about a week between those two big events. I know those things take a lot of planning, so to have those big events back to back like that, it keeps you busy. I know.
Well, we've got got great talent working with us. We've got the same folks in the events business have been with us for many years. So again, they do all the heavy lifting, and we enjoy spreading the word through Space Coast Daily. So it's a nice marriage. But the staff, all of our team, is what makes this all happen. Sounds like a lot, Gene, but we've got an incredible bunch of people that work with us, and they're very talented. And we've been the Space Coast State Fair is our 31st year, so we should know what we're doing by now.
Well, I know you have a online events calendar too. So if someone's just interested in what's going on in Brevard, they can go there and see all the things going on at Space Coast Daily. But just reading some of these, you handle Titusville Mardi Gras, the Cocoa Beach softball spring training, Cocoa Beach baseball spring training, Space Coast Home Show, Palm Bay Fair, Space Coast Spring Fair, Space Coast Sports Hall of Fame, Space Coast State Fair, and the Seafood Festival in Cocoa Beach, besides this new one coming up that you're talking about, which is the Oktoberfest. Oh, my gosh, I'm tired just thinking about all these events.
I know. I'm tired listening to you, Gene. I think I need a break.
Oh, yeah, I think we need to rest it, but that's a lot of planning. But that's the idea. We wanted to make sure, because the name of our show is Your Hometown Solutions, there's always a solution to everything going on. And if you have a desire to learn more about spring training, various craft shows or the various fairs going on, one-stop shop. You could go over here to Space Coast Daily and find all of that out. Give out any information you would like our listeners to have at this point that might be relevant on what we've been talking about, Giles.
Well, yes, if anyone would like to reach us, just send us an email to contact@spacecoastdaily.com or give us a call on our toll-free number, 855-386-3836. And, we can't thank you enough, Gene, for everything you do with the show, and you do a tremendous job. And, we're just one of many local organizations that make Brevard great. So we love living here. We love what we do, and I can't thank you enough for your time today.
Well, we thank you, and we've been listening to Giles Malone, partner with Maverick Media Incorporated, Brevard Productions, and, of course, part of the SpaceCoastDaily.com and all the other events that we mentioned. We really appreciate you coming on the air and sharing that information. Anything else, John, you wanted to add at this point when we'll talk about our website and so forth?
Well, I'd just like to, again, thank Giles for the excellent product of Space Coast Daily, both the magazine and the online. And it is a great resource for those who are interested in learning about Brevard County and all the many things we have to offer here. It's a wonderful place to live, and that's shown and expressed through the magazine very well. So thank you, Giles.
And thank you all for listening to us today. If you'd like more information about our show, it's yourhometownsolutions.com. Go there. We have past guests, past recordings. You can hear all about the various upcoming guests. And also make sure you check out the archives here at Talk Network Radio and all the different guests that have been on our show, as well as the other fine shows that play here at Talk Network Radio. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jonathan, for joining me today. And it's